It was his birthday. Late October in southern Vermont is a feast for the eyes. The rolling hills aglow with autumn's majesty. His eyes on the road, he focuses his gaze narrowly. He almost always has a serious look about him. Stoic, upright posture with a medium build and dark hair. Both hands on the steering wheel. He puts his right foot down and the car picks up speed. On this stretch of the highway into town, you can see clear across the valley. The mountain now comes into view and he can't help but look away from the road. The entire horizon is red and orange. Bald Mountain, a 3,700-foot peak, and on the mountain's west side lies the aftermath of a landslide from centuries ago. A bare spot gives the mountain distinction. His right foot, compelled by desire, pushes a little bit more each mile, and by now the increase in speed has become noticeable. The road noise hums violently as the car comes into town dangerously fast. No red lights and no traffic. He arrives quickly at the trailhead at the edge of town. Pulling into the paved lot, he notices that he's alone. No other cars means there's no hikers. It's just like he imagined, but not at all familiar. The hike begins. The trail begins steep and suddenly. For the first 25 minutes, it's practically a stair climb through the trees. Birds sing as the trees dance in the wind. Far away, a lone dog barks at nothing. I stop and bark back with an adolescent grin. Breathing deeply now, I continue. The sound of a major roadway acts as a backdrop for every other sound. Moving faster now on less of an incline, I become surrounded by large pines and rocks the size of cars, some even bigger. Glaciers put these here, I say to myself, my voice muted by the woods. The forests are old, and in town stories are told of the history and legend of Bald Mountain. As kids, we spoke of witches, trolls, and Sasquatches. Being young and imaginative, these things felt very real and very dangerous. One of the stories was called The Witch House. People said that deep in the woods there's a large stone or mound of earth. That's where the witch lived. The trail isn't easy to follow. Every 100 or so feet, there's a blue marker on a tree or rock. Like following breadcrumbs, you hike from point to point, always looking for the next marker. Up here, the ground is wet, and the air is noticeably cooler. After about 45 minutes, he decides to stop for a drink and to rest. The still silence of the mountainside is not only peaceful, but also haunting. The only sound is his breathing and the faintest beat of his heart. Da-dun, da-dun, da-dun. A deep breath slows his heart slightly, and he continues. From blue marker to blue marker, he weaves a path through the trees, over streams, and across great granite boulders. The next stream crossing approaches, and a path of stepping stones connects one side to the other. Moving with confidence, he bounds from the muddy bank to the first stone. The stones are dark and covered in algae. His left foot lands and slides in a sudden motion, causing him to lose his balance and fall. Water splashes as his head hits a large stone just below the water. The concussive slap echoes through the woods as his body lies lifeless and wet in the deepest part of the woods. Silent now. No sound but a trickling stream and the faintest sound of a distant rhythm. Da-dun, da-dun, da-dun.